You have allowed people to overrun you. You've allowed people to take control. You're never going to get ahead if you keep letting that happen. In order to get ahead and onward, you need to take their soul. My name's Nick Tabor. I'm a personal trainer, and I talk about this stuff because I've lived through it. I have been inspired a lot, but I read the David Goggins book, Can't Hurt Me, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do that and recommend that you take that challenge on. I'd get the audiobook version because it includes mini challenges inside it, and it's like a long podcast session as they walk through the stories. But chapter 4 is taking souls and the process of doing it. Now, I'm going to go through a miniature version of it, but I highly recommend you get the book. Go on Audible or wherever you get your audiobook platform. Go check it out and listen to it. Or if you're more, prefer a physical hard copy, get the book. But hey, it is worth it. It is so worth it to do that. Taking souls is the process of when somebody may not believe in you, or somebody may not think that you can overcome that challenge or you can do other things, then what you do is you meet their challenge, not only meet their expectations of the challenge, but exceed their expectations and leave them in disbelief on what you could do. So, 2 stories actually come to mind right away when I think about this. I was 5 years old. I was a little kid. I just got out of I did something that not a lot of kids really did. I was in special needs classes for my cerebral palsy for issues that I had, and what I did was I made the transition from going to another class every once in a while or taking art classes in another room to fully transitioning to normal classes, fully transitioning out of there. There was a teacher's assistant who told me my mom, and I wasn't supposed to hear this. That's key part of it. And she said, don't expect a lot out of him. Don't expect him to do too much. He'll be good. He'll have a job. He'll be happy. But don't put a lot of expectations on him. And my mom, in her infinite wisdom, said, he'll do whatever the heck he wants. He'll get better. He'll do more. This teacher's aide actually followed me through school, and as she got promoted, I got older, and she became the nurse in the high school that I graduated from, and then saw me graduate and went, oh wow, he really is gonna do good things. Interesting. He is gonna do things. And then I proceeded through my life to do my things and then take her soul to do that. Then they don't have to know that you're doing it. Like, they don't have to know that you're doing it at all. Another thing, like when I was at a day job that I had, the human resources director and I were always like butting heads a lot. And, I believe in her heart of hearts that she actually still is a good person. To this day, she's actually a decent friend of mine, and I've learned a lot from her. But there was a period where I was brought up and I had a lot of issues that were coming up, and I was put in on a 30-day probation period and she told me, she's like, okay, you don't pass this performance evaluation, you're going to lose your job. Now, they had every right to do that, because at that time, yeah, I was sucking at my job. I deserved it. I deserved that time because things were not going well. But instead of crawling down into the abyss and just saying, well, I need time to leave, I need to consider things, I need to maybe go to another job or start applying for other places, I hunkered down and I learned, and I started to learn as much as I could around me. Not only passed the evaluation, but this person actually relies on me heavily to be able to carry out a lot of things that I don't think she could do. So it's surpassing the expectation, but only all of a sudden doing so much, you're like, oh my God, like, you have done this. Like, David Goggins talks about a story about, meeting the maker in heaven, and, God knows everything about you, and, your maker, or whatever you believe, that, knows everything about you and sees this, but you were this one thing, and you're like, well, yeah, I had all this for you, like, who's this? But the reverse of it is exceeding all this and saying, you're doing stuff we didn't even think about. Like, you did stuff we didn't even know you could do. Jeez, like, you've exceeded the expectations of the heavenly maker, if you believe in that. It's just, it's a good thing too, but you've got to be able to do that, is to take souls. And I loved it. I got so energized with this chapter because I got exceeded, because I'm like, yes, that's my life. That's me. I did that multiple times. When I went into karate school, and, I was in this dojo, and I was a little white belt, and, yes, sir, doing the thing, and doing the thing, and, I got that, and then I attained black belts out of all the kids that went through it. For hardly anyone ascended to that rank who was in those classes when we were really, really little. And like, dude, you did it? Nick Tabor, freaking, you got the, putting the hard work and soul and going, oh, yes, CP, yes, things, okay. Maybe he won't do it. Oh, God, look, he is really good. And I got that in you. That's really the definition of the one-word climb, of why we get this, why we do that, because I've taken the soul so many times. They have themselves so secure, like, okay, they do this, they do that, and then they exceed, and they go, ooh, geez. Or even like bullies who had, gave me hard times as a kid, are now following me on Instagram for inspiration. Like, I really love the positive. I really love everything that you do. And I'm showing my kids what, a person that you've become. I really appreciate, like, damn, bro. Gotcha. They don't have to know, but I'm like, I got you now. Too. But you just take it like, hey, man, you're mine now. And we can't take that back. Once somebody's got inspired by you, they can't be uninspired later. Like, shit, right? Shoot, you did that. So, here we go, taking a soul. Like, once somebody gives you a moment of doubt, you've got to go ahead. Number one, take the time to study what is needed. Don't worry about their expectations of you, because they put expectations on you from their own personal lens of how they view the world and the universe. That has nothing to do with you. But study what the benchmark is, and then set it a little bit higher. So, you've got to pass this test. You've got to have at least 85 on this test to get in, in order to pass. Good. Study for A's. Study for 90 or higher. Then move higher up there and get more and more. If you're a student, do the homework, do it harder, and do more than you've intended to do. And then keep pushing that and go, okay, yeah, I did that, ooh. And that'll feel pretty good. And then you've got to say, okay, what's the benchmark? Set it high. Number two, collect as many as possible. Make a game out of it. Don't tell them what you're doing. Don't tell them, just do it. Do your thing and then keep pushing and keep doing that and exceed the expectations. Where I've had it with the nurse, the bullies, the HR manager. Grab. Good. What can I do more of? How can I exceed more than I need to? What can I do more of to be able to get more? And that's really it. But three, just get that book. David Goggins Can't Hurt Me. Again, I'd recommend you get the audiobook if that's your thing, because this is something that it's an exceptional listen. Plus, there's challenges, and also there's a Facebook group on it where you post your own challenges. And yeah, that's taking a soul. I want you to take as many as you can. I know you can do it. Go grab them, go get it, and live that amazing life. As always, we climb. Check that next video next to me, and you have yourself an amazing day. I will see you there.